Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Even through a victory, it seems like the taste always is a little bit sour in recent times. I've tried my level best to try and be a little bit more upbeat and whatnot. After all, regardless of how the total performance was against Fulham, which I don't think was the greatest, it was definitely lacking, but we did show resilience and we came back. Having said that, we needed to win that. We needed to win that, and even more so now that Nottingham Forest is actually beating Spurs. I thought Spurs at home might be doing something, but not really. Nottingham Forest back to third position, and this fight for fourth and fifth spot for the Champions League is going to be quite incredible. In fact, third, fourth, and fifth. Now, good comeback victory. However, it seems like the match-going fans, this is what we need to really focus on. Don't worry about me. Don't come after me. I'm not being negative here. I'm not even being positive. I'm just reporting what the facts are, what the genuine, feeling is right now with the match-going fans. Now, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. At halftime, when we were losing 1-0 against Fulham, as the players and the manager, they were going off back to the dressing room, the Chelsea fans were chanting wanker at Maresca as he headed in. There are clips about this, proper, videos that's, all over social media that you can clearly hear the chant at halftime. And then post-match, this is what was reported. We'll come to the Tom's comment on it, but Matt DeBerno, who is actually runs the account Absolute Chelsea, he wrote Enzo Maresca straight down the tunnel, no acknowledgement of the Chelsea away end. Nice comeback, you have to say, but Enzo Maresca went straight down the tunnel, did not want to acknowledge the away fans, and this right now feels a bit strange, And then off the back of that, Tom has said, if 3,000 people called me a wanker publicly, not sure I'd be rushing over to celebrate with them either. So look, and Maresca, is got a explanation for this, but we'll come to that. First of all, I want to say, look, I get it. Being called a wanker by all of these away fans, it's not a good feeling. Of course, it's not a good feeling, but this sense of creating some level of animosity, some level of divide between yourself and the fans, I'm not sure if this is actually going to work out for Enzo Maresca in the long term. Regardless of you winning, and let's say over the next few matches, he does end up winning a few games. Let's say we beat Everton. Let's say we beat Liverpool. I don't know. I'm just putting some examples out there. I don't think it's going to help Enzo Maresca by behaving in this manner. Not that long ago, just after the Ipswich draw that we had, he said, the fans booing is causing Robert Sanchez to sometimes go long. Fans are creating an environment which is not helpful towards the team. He's sort of indirectly or subtly, I don't know whether if it's even actually subtle or it's straight, smack in the face. He's trying to say that the environment is somewhat culpable of the misfortunes of Chelsea's, results at times. So having said all of that, and having also said prior to the Fulham game that fans, it's up to you. It's up to you. You decide how you want to behave. If you behave well, we perform well. If you don't behave well, we're not going to perform well. More or less, this is what he's sort of trying to allude to. And now this, me personally, you've got a comeback victory. I get it. I hear it. I acknowledge the fact that you would have felt insulted at halftime, being called a wanker by your own fans. But at full time, you've won. You still go up there. And I thought that probably would have been like a moment of trumping the fans, putting one on them. That, hey, you were jeering me off at halftime. Here I am in front of you guys, thanking you guys that we've come back and secured the 3 points against against the odds, to be honest. It didn't look like in the second half that we were going to do much. If anything, the first half against Fulham looked like we created a few chances and we should have scored. But in the second half, up until George took that shot, name me one moment before that where we looked very, very threatening. We didn't. We didn't. Tyreek George scored, which then triggered off a nice momentum change. And then we got the Pedro and Neto goal after that, courtesy of really good work from Enzo Fernandez as well. So I would have thought it would have been far better for Enzo Maresca to reach out and go to the fans and show, hey, maybe trust me a little bit. But instead, he's taking the different route and he still continued to create this divide, in my personal opinion. So, look, this is not going to end well for Enzo Maresca, regardless of how many wins you pick up, regardless of if you even make it to the Champions League. Once you start losing the match-going fans, it's not a good thing. Our next match is against Everton at home at Stamford Bridge. If the match-going fans are feeling like that, it could turn out to be a very hostile environment for our own players at home against Everton. And we are not playing at the moment in a scintillating manner where we can just go out there and romp the opposition. We need every bit of help. We need every bit of help. And Enzo Maresca, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think is doing that. And I don't understand, like, where, and I've said this in my previous video, where this arrogance is coming from for Enzo Maresca. I'm not really sure, because, my man, you've not achieved anything. You've not achieved anything. You've not won anything besides a championship trophy. You've won the title as a Leicester manager last season in the championship. Besides that, you've done jack all. So I'm not really sure why you're not being humble in this instance. Why you're not being like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let me just ride through this. Let me try and win them. But it doesn't seem like Enzo Maresca is doing anything possible to win his reputation, his image from the match-going fans. Now, this is what he had to say post-match about why, after the game, he just walked off. He didn't stick around. The goal from Pedro Neto doesn't change this season. In the last 3 years, Chelsea has never been in Champions League spot. It's already a good season. Okay, now, so this is actually a separate, this is an extension to what he said. What he actually said that he just wanted the team to just enjoy and soak it in. He didn't want to ruin that moment between the players and the fans. So that was his explanation. But then he also said this, which once again shows the level of arrogance. So let's just quickly go through this one because it kind of leads on to what we were talking about, that level of arrogance. I don't understand where this is coming from for Pedro Neto, for Enzo Maresca. The goal from Pedro Neto doesn't change the season. It does. Enzo Maresca, it does change the season. If he doesn't score that, we're in the mud. We're royally in the mud, knowing Nottingham Forest now is going to pick up the 3 points against Spurs. In the last 3 years, Chelsea has never been in the Champions League spot. Okay? Once again, why are you only talking about last 3 years? Why are you just focused on what the current ownership is doing? Why are you not looking at Chelsea from prior times in the previous ownership? Chelsea didn't start 3 years ago. Chelsea's standards were high. Sure, we didn't compete in the Premier League for a while now, but Champions League positions were just the norm. There wasn't anything to get too excited about. That just came with the package. It's already a good season, and the goal doesn't change that. It gives us a chance to be there. It's already a good season, really. That victory against Fulham was our 6th victory out of 16 matches, last 16 Premier League matches. No, I'm sorry, it's not a good season. It's an average season. It's an average season. If you're deeming this as a good season, I'm sorry, you don't even know what good means. You haven't seen good season then. This isn't okay. It's an average season. And the goal doesn't change that. It gives us a chance to be there once again. this level of arrogance. The goal doesn't change that. Yes, it does. That Pedro Neto goal was extremely important because even a draw wouldn't have been good enough against Fulham. So this, I don't know where this audacity, this level of audacity is coming from Enzo Maresca. I'm not sure where he's getting this arrogance from. As I said, he's done nothing in this game so far at the highest level. And he's going around saying it's a good season, that goal doesn't change anything. We've been in the top four, top five for predominant time in this season so far. And that goal is just gives us a chance. That's about it. I'm sorry, Enzo Maresca. No. That goal gave us a lifeline. 100% gave us a lifeline. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in regards to all of that. The reason why I'm harping on about this even more is look at what Pedro Neto said about his goal, the winner against Fulham. I think this could be a big moment in our season, but we need to win against Everton as well. Pedro Neto is going around saying it. I think it could be a big moment in our season. 100%. 100% it could be a big moment. But we need to win against Everton as well. These players, they seem like they're more interested about 4th and 5th and Champions League position as opposed to Enzo Maresca. And this is the sort of the vibe that was created from the get-go. Enzo Maresca, from the beginning of the season, Enzo Maresca, from the beginning of the season, was harping on about that Champions League football is not necessary. And you kind of got that vibe from Enzo Maresca all throughout the season. Even in recent times when Enzo Maresca has been saying that, no, Champions League is what we're going for. But you always felt that he believes in this step-by-step process. Whatever we're doing this season is good, and then next season we could go for Champions League, and the season after is the title. But this is so different to how the players are feeling. All the players have recently come out, whether it's Malo Gusto, whether it's now Pedro Neto, whether many other players, they've been talking about how they want Champions League football. They badly want Champions League football. And you see the stark difference between how Maresca is reacting to the goal, Pedro Neto's goal, and how Pedro Neto is reacting to. I get it. Pedro Neto scored, so obviously his reaction would be different. But he also understands that it was a big goal, whereas Enzo Maresca is trying to downplay that goal, the winner against Fulham. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. I think this foolery that Enzo Maresca is doing with the fan base is not going to end well. Even if we go on a bit of a winning run, it's not a good thing. He needs to try and win back the fans. Don't go against the match-going fans. Don't go against any fans. Try and win people's hearts back. This way, there's only one winner, and that's the match-going fans, and that's the fans overall. And they're going to make it very difficult for you to succeed at Chelsea Football Club. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Let me see the last. What is the score? It's 2-1 Spurs. Can they level it up? 3 more minutes to go. We shall see. We shall see what happens there. Until next time, take care. See ya.